Oh, hello there. Yes. Well, we're hurtling through the weekend. Yeah, it's cold, isn't it, eh? Yeah. Pussycat's asleep on bed, which is very sensible. I've been snuggled into a heated poncho, which is also very sensible. Anyway, today I just thought we'd sort of have a bit of a delve into that deep, dark psychology that is your average libertarian grifter. And the more you think about these people, because unfortunately I do seem to spend a lot of my life doing so, the more you realise that their worldview really can't encapsulate anything that's different. Everything has to be central to them. They are perhaps the personification of that only child syndrome. Just to sort of like highlight this, right? Okay, Peter Whittle a few days ago wrote this. Okay, while we're in the vein of good New Year wishes and resolutions, my thoughts particularly go out to all those parents and grandparents who over the holiday period had to endure their speech being monitored, who had to account for their views, and who were made to feel bad for laughing at the wrong jokes by their resentful, miserable, and self-pitying blue-haired offspring. Yes, indeed. I mean, I'm actually old enough to know when people with blue hair were quite old, as indeed is Peter. But you'll notice the framing of this, and I was thinking to myself, think about the power imbalance, as ever, the power imbalance here, right? Okay, so all of us, I'm pretty sure, most of us have had, when we were younger, that thing about, now don't upset your gran. Oh, yeah, but she was, she's going to come out and say all those things. No, don't upset her. I know it's painful, but she's old. You're just going to have to fit round her. Yeah? That's what you get, isn't it, when you're 13, 14? You mustn't speak, because the power relationship is that even though they're nasty, racist, sexist, homophobic, misogynistic gits, you have to be the one that changes. And you notice the framing here with Peter, it's that's perfectly reasonable, because the young people who don't agree with you, they're not reasonable. Must be awful for Peter in so many ways. And also, just this weekend, we've had a lot of sort of Twitter activity around Ricky Gervais and comedy, shall we say. So we end up with there was an interview with Amano and spit his name out, Armando Iannucci, okay, whereby he was sort of suggesting that people like Peter Whittle et al. Are censorious, which of course they are. They are very censorious people. They will scream blue murder about free speech, but when it comes down to it, they really don't like it at all. So, we've got Helen Joyce. Yeah, her. Not even going to mention that tweet of her whereby she was misgendered, which was just hilarious. But anyway, I dare Armando to write a comedy about trans issues, poke merciless fun at the invented stats, circular arguments, and general narcissism, dead name everyone, then come back and say this again. But of course, we don't need anyone to do that, because we've already had that over Christmas with Doctor Who. 144 complaints to the BBC. Oh my God. Yeah, that gets highlighted left and centre. Isn't it dreadful? Isn't it dreadful, mainstream media? Isn't it dreadful across the board? That's it, right? You can't come out with this stuff because the kids will just simply watch a 4-second segment on Doctor Who and instantaneously decide to, I don't know, chop off their heads or something, whatever it is that rubbish these people come out with. Yeah? But of course, if we look at the Ricky Gervais and Dave Chappelle's specials currently as they are on Netflix, we can see exactly that they haven't been cancelled at all. In fact, the mainstream media, as personified by, well, all of them, will go, oh, aren't they brave? Aren't they brave, the two of them? Quick, throw some more money at them. Make sure, Ricky Gervais, even though he doesn't have the guts to actually use the N-word, he just says, in inverted commas, the N-word. Wow, that's out there, mate. That's really out there. Yeah, maybe you should go further. Well, no, obviously not, because there are still limits, aren't there? But we can see exactly, yeah, where these people are coming from. You can write whatever you like about trans people. You can be Glinner and sit there at 2 o'clock in the morning tweeting away, about the nonces and the paedophiles, and nothing will happen to you whatsoever. You don't get cancelled. You'll get invited onto 1 or 2 shows to say about how you're the victim. Oh dear. Yes, and that is, of course, the mindset. That is the mindset. This is where these people come from. Oh. Anyway, libertarians. I just don't get libertarians at all, because if ever there was a walking definition of cake and eat it, it's a libertarian. Never mind, they won't live long. In the coming apocalypse, they are the world's least suited people to survive. I don't care how much they're prepping for 3 months, they won't make it past 3 days. They rely on the rest of us to keep them alive, and we won't be there for them. Anyway, do have a lovely weekend. God, that was pessimistic, wasn't it? Yeah, I may only be half joking about 2024. It's going to be a mean one. Do have a lovely rest of the weekend, and as Paul Golding would say, better go to church, eh?